So a little addendum. I never want my videos to go more than 20 minutes, and we were getting close on the last one. So this may be more than 2, but not much. I wanted to address the winning at the lower level one more time. Again, odds of winning at the presidential level, really, really slim for libertarians and Constitution Party. But winning, by my definition, making a big influence in an important race, a governor's race or a presidential race, huge. And let me go to another one because this is even more realistic. It's for so many congressional races and state house races where our candidates could be garnering 10, 15%. Do that in lots of districts. And they have to pay attention to us for the next 2 years in the legislature. That's powerful. That's a faction that could even start bleeding off Republicans and Democrats who might want to run with us. And voters from those big parties who see how they disappoint and that there really is an alternative that's not the odious other guy. Okay? It was horrible to be a third party with, in 2016, 2 odious candidates. Okay? It's going to happen again at the presidential level in 2020. It can happen in governor races. Doesn't happen as much in state house races. People play nice, and when we are playing nice and make an alternative, that's good. When there's an odious, ooh, I can't vote for the other guy, we still have a fighting chance after a couple of years of governance. Now, what's the opportunity today in the 2020 presidential race for a third party to break through? It is this would be blissful. And maybe you with some influence can help engineer it. It's getting a major split in both the Republican and the Democrat race. You who might have influence with Andrew Cuomo, dangle the possibility that America needs him. You want a fractious Democrat convention. That would be great. You who might be able to lure Ted Cruz to go at it one more time. Maybe Marco Rubio, John Kasich, Jim DeMint. Let them split with Trump. You get a 4-way split, major party candidates. That is the best lift for the fifth party because now we aren't Lilliputian. We are, because nobody, even Trump, doesn't stand way ahead. Somewhat ahead, sure, but not colossally ahead. No polling's going to put any candidate at 50%. So, our maybe high single digits polling is not that far off of one of those big 4 who might be in the low double digits. That would open up the door in 2020 at the presidential level. Not counting on it, but it's possible. All right, lastly, what would open up an appreciation for our presidential nominees is to show how many good, real people, non-politicians, will be serving in office. Should we get elected, I think the party should be nominating 15 different offices. I think it should show at the end of its convention just how good it is and just how many people are involved, ordinary people, that make it not a cult of personality, but a cult of idea. Cult's even the wrong word. Ideas that are long-lasting, carried out by good people. I actually would like to see for every one of these positions, I got 15, every one of them be staffed by 3, 4, or 5 people so that even one resignation doesn't hobble an agency. And since no officer can serve 24/7, having a division of duties just plain makes sense. Is that expanding government? Yes and no. It makes it wide, but not deep. If we had 75 appointees for high-level posts, but they only have 2 secretaries each, and that's the department, we're back to Jeffersonian times. That would be wonderful. All right, so I think the nominee from your party should be naming the following positions: Chief of Staff Domestic, Chief of Staff International. Here's the really exciting one: Secretary for removing agencies and removing bad laws. This is what you're about, and it's going to take a lot of skill to do it fairly without the animosities of so many people. Secretary for Fair and Just Transitions maybe needs even more skill. JCS Chief, NSA Chief, INS Chief. Now that used to be 3 agencies. Sorry, that used to be the INS. It is 3 agencies now. Put it all together. We can do this right. IRS Commissioner, still need it, even if you're slimming down the IRS. And then the big 4 of the traditional cabinet offices: Attorney General, Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense, Secretary of Treasury. Finally, you make a Federal Reserve choice. Ms. Yellen is there until February 2022. Until then, your choice is serving as an Assistant Treasury Secretary. Gets his or her feet wet, ready to take over a year and 1 month later. Make a Supreme Court choice. Make it evident. And use that person as an Assistant Attorney General until there's a Supreme Court opening. And finally, last and maybe least, the Vice President, who does nothing constitutionally, but we would make that person a candidate developer of all the many good lower offices. That's what a vice president could do very well. I think presiding over the Senate effectively, constitutionally, would be a good other thing, but you could do that from afar. All right, letting voters see the parties would be public servants for the next 4 years also gives you more firepower in the campaign. Let these nominees swarm the airwaves, swarm the event schedule, whether those are face-to-face events or online events. It's not just 1 or 2 candidates that media can address. They can have a part of a bevy of candidates who are pledged to serving in the party's victory administration.